This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames and Shady Rays, but we'll tell you about that later.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Kind of Funny Games cast. I'm one of your hosts, Greg Miller, alongside Forbes 30 Under 30, a.k.a. New York Game Awards nominated, a.k.a. Fresh Haircut, Blessing, Adeoye Jr.
Good day, Greg.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm great. Is it a good day?
I think it is.
I'm excited to see if you guys think they landed the plane. You've been getting higher and higher and higher with Dispatch, and here we are, 2 episodes in and done. I'm excited to talk about it. Over there, of course, the boss baby himself, Barrett Courtney. Hey, Barrett.
What's up, Greg? How you doing?
I'm good. I always love when you get to come be actually on the set.
It's
A rare Barrett appearance.
It's not rare. We were literally. I was on the show a week ago.
If you were to look back, I don't think this kid's been on the desk in 2 years.
We never have him behind. We gotta have him on the desk more.
I think I've been on the desk more this year than any other year. I'm going to be
Still,
honest.
usually you're back behind the glass. You're over there doing the damn thing.
I don't think I don't
Yeah.
recognize Barrett
Like
behind
a
this
Garfield.
desk,
Yeah,
honestly.
exactly.
He looks like a different
exactly.
person.
Uncommon, chat saying. Uncommon.
Uncommon.
He's legendary
Okay,
to
I'll
me.
take that. I'll give you that, of course. Because this is the Kind of Funny Games cast. Each and every weekday, we give you the biggest topics in gaming, whether they be reviews, previews, or just things we need to talk about. We cover them here on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, of course, podcast services around the globe. Fuck Tim.
Yeah.
I'll do the pound here. You know what I
Wow.
mean?
Well, I think Tim. Well, actually, I think Tim never does the pound.
Yeah, I noticed it on Games Daily today. I was like, oh, he doesn't do wait
Yeah,
for
no.
the pound.
We gotta have a conversation about how Tim's not a team player.
Wow.
You know what I mean? He doesn't do the pound. He hates Halloween.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it. That's
Hates
all
Christmas.
the evidence. He hates
Yeah.
Christmas.
Oh, I think he's anti-holiday.
Yeah.
But he's more anti-Christmas.
Anti-Christmas tree ruins Game Showdown by just being too good at Game
I know,
Showdown.
right? That's annoying.
Yeah.
That's the worst part about it.
It's
You know?
really
Like,
the
it's
worst
the thing
part.
where I try to make questions that Tim would never know.
Yeah.
And
But he
it's
somehow knows them.
Yeah, I'm like, why do you
Annoying.
know
That's
the fucking
annoying,
modes
you
in
know
Team
what I mean?
Fortress 2? Who taught you that?
Dude sucks. Of course, besides just hating Tim, you could love us and pick up a Kind of Funny membership. With a Kind of Funny membership, you get all of our shows ad-free. That's more than $80 a month. You get your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series we call Greg With. It's 15 to 20 minutes of exclusive podcasting each and every day. And hey, 2 episodes today. And on top of that, of course, you get good karma for supporting a small, independent 11-person business doing the impossible, doing a 2:46 p.m. Gamescast today after going through all the breaking news about Steam stuff, after streaming a game. We all ran off, we all played it, and we're here to talk about it, but I'm still getting ahead of myself. If you're not aware of everything I'm talking about, remember some housekeeping. Kind of Funny Games Daily covered the new Steam machine, the new Steam controller, and the VR headset that I'm not going to ever remember the name of. Riggs?
Frame? Steam frame.
Steam frame.
Framework. Frame?
Not a great name.
I don't like it. I don't like it. Remember, of course, before that, even there was a live reaction to the Mario movie Nintendo Direct thing with Bless and Tim, which feels like it was a lifetime ago, if not yesterday. And then before this was an NVIDIA-sponsored Doom stream with Andy and Nick. If you're a Kind of Funny member, like I said, you get 2 Greg Ways today. Number 1 is the formerly embargoed one I talked about, preview of Octopath Traveler 0. And the second one, how to talk to your non-gamer partner about your gaming needs. Also, much to talk about Patreon and quips. You'll understand. Thank you to our Patreon producers who are probably quipping right now. Carl Jacobs, Omega Buster, and Delaney the Psalm Twining. For now, let's begin the show with what is and forever will be topic of the show. Today is Wednesday, November 12th. That means, if you didn't know, the final 2 episodes of Dispatch came out today, concluding their 4-week, 8-episode run. We did Games Daily, we did the reactions, we did the stream. While all that's been happening, or after it's been happening, all 3 of us ran to our desks, Barrett to the couch, and we all played through these final 2 episodes to come in and give you a spoiler-free review of Dispatch, the entire season, okay? Spoiler-free review of Dispatch, Season 1. You assume there's going to be Season 2. I know there's all these rumors now. What we're going to do is do that, spoiler-free, review it, give it a score, have some fun, talk it out, not get into specifics. Then we're going to do an ad break. When we come back from the ad break, we are going to do our spoiler cast for Dispatch, where the gloves will come off. We will just talk about everything that happened there. We will all have a good time. I urge you, don't panic. Don't have to turn it off yet. turn it off when we get there. Then when you play it tonight, tomorrow, 3 years from now, you can come back and listen to that second half of the episode. And if that wasn't enough to keep you around, at the very, 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 very end, after the spoiler cast section, we're going to kick it over to the one and only Snowbike Mike, who went down to Los Angeles and did a sponsored interview with Ark Knights Enfield, video game down there that he went and played that we're going to get to go watch tomorrow. He hung out with Griffline, the developers between Ark Knights Enfield, and it's going to be a fun conversation to see what's up there and get a preview of what we're playing tomorrow on stream. But I digress. What are you laughing at?
Me and Nick talked to Aaron Paul. Did that ever release?
No, we were wondering about that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We should figure that out.
Yeah.
Actually. Yeah.
I feel like that was. I forget what the plan was, but I feel
The
like that
plan
supposed
was,
to be
what
part
are
of
we
this.
going to do with more dispatch content? And then we kind of got away from it, but you know what I mean? You talked to Aaron Paul. That was cool.
Yeah, that was cool. It was a good time.
Was the content like good? Was it worth it? Like, is it something that needs to be seen, you think?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Okay. Maybe we just put it up as a highlight, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It was
sure,
like, what,
yeah.
10 minutes?
yeah. This is
The
the question.
game just fully completed. I think like that might be like a fun, we put it out later this week kind of thing.
Maybe the
Oh,
weekend.
yeah.
Yeah.
The conversation that me and Nick had before the game came out, before we knew anything about the game.
What are you going to do about it?
That'd be great. to put out
Spoiler
for the game.
free! We have all beaten Dispatch, episodes 1 through 8. Barrett, start me off down there. Top level, what did you think of Dispatch?
This is a tough one because we're literally coming right
I
off
know,
of,
right?
like,
Yeah, you better
Blessing
have
and
an
I
opinion.
both just finished it 10 minutes ago because that last episode was a little bit
Not
longer
even
than
that. Blessing literally went, cuckoo, I'm ready, and stood up and walked in here. I was like, God damn, he's got shit to say.
And so now that we're back here after a month, when we did our review so far of just the first 2 episodes, I think I was the coolest on the first 2 episodes.
Yeah.
I think the pacing and the kind of framework of the first 2 episodes and the pacing around several things of comedic beats of breaking up the story with the gameplay and all that stuff wasn't quite working for me, and I wasn't quite there yet of like, all right, I get the premise, let's move past that. Since then, I've only gotten higher and higher and higher on this game, and I think episodes 3 through 8 have really kind of addressed those things. Like once we got past the first big story hump, I think the biggest thing this game needed to do, it being kind of a, bad people coming together to try to be good people kind of thing
Some
that
kind
we've
of
seen
Suicide
over.
Squad.
Yeah, some kind of Suicide Squad, some kind of Guardians of the Galaxy. The biggest thing this game needed to do was sell me on the relationships of this team.
Yeah.
And I think even just from episode 3, it does that so well, all the way up until the end, where even just like a little kind of little character moments, whether it's in the dispatching stuff or in the big story, I'm grinning ear to ear because they have really, I think, sold me on this team, on this group, and all of their personal dynamic, one-on-one dynamics. I think it's so well performed. I think this was such a great cast to carry the story.
Yeah.
Right? Aaron Paul. Why am I blanking on
Jeffrey Wright.
Jeffrey Wright, but then
slash,
also
Aaron
Invisigal's
Yvette. That's
Laura Bailey.
Laura Bailey. Like that team was so well cast, and even some of the streamer people like Moist Critical
Jacksepticeye.
as like Sonar, like that started to work for me in those last couple of episodes, and I won't get too deep into that, but I thought this was just, as a Telltale like experience, a type of game I haven't played too much of. Like I've played the Batman stuff here and there and all that, but I truly adored this experience. I think it being not something new in terms of the premise, but I think new in terms of how it tackles the poor family dynamic of this found family coming together,
Sure.
learning to grow with each other. The setting being kind of this office workplace comedy thing, I think sets it apart from all of those kind of stories that we've seen before. And at the end of the day, I really adored this, and I think past those first 2 episodes, I was blown away by it. I think this is overall, I think a 9 out of 10 amazing game. And I do think, to me, this is easily a contender. I think this was a really fun story, very gripping, and honestly funny. The humor really started to grow on me after like the first 3 or 4 episodes for sure. So
Blessing, you were hot out of the gate on this one. I think even saying you were, a 9
Yeah.
when we did the first 2 episode review?
Yes, during the first 2 episode review, I gave it a 9 out of 10. Even with the idea that as I was giving it the 9, internally I thought there's no way that it keeps this
It
up,
maintains this.
throughout the entire
Yeah,
season.
yeah.
And now having finished the last episode of the season, I'm moving up to a 9.5.
God damn.
This is
son.
one of my favorite games of the year. It
Okay.
is I would say my favorite Telltale. I don't even want to say Telltale-like, right? Because like there's Life is Strange and all this stuff in terms of what exists in this world.
Of
but
course.
I guess when we're talking about the lineage,
Choose your own adventure game type of thing.
yeah, like choose your own story. But in terms of the lineage of Telltale, right? Like
Telltale.
Telltale. What
Yeah.
am I saying?
I noticed this the other day when I was
Telltale.
driving. You're saying Telltale.
I think that's just my accent. I don't know. I'm saying in my brain, I'm saying Telltale, but I think it just comes out.
Dude,
as
welcome to me
Telltale.
and Roof.
Yeah.
I'm up on the roof. The roof.
Yes,
Sorry.
but yes, Telltale. Yeah, this is one of my favorite stories that I've experienced of
Hell
that
yeah.
ilk. Probably even I'll go as far as to say one of my favorite superhero stories of the year, if not probably my favorite superhero story of the year. Like, I love this game that much. I love.
Let
what
me
this is
pull you
doing that
over.
much. Yeah,
Because I appreciate what you're saying here. What other superhero stories of
What
the year are you
competition
tossing
is it?
out? Yeah, because I
Gen V, Superman, Thunderbolts,
Okay.
okay. Fantastic Four.
Okay. So you're talking. I was thinking traditional video games. You're getting.
No,
outside
I'm just
of
talking about superheroes.
Hell yeah. Okay.
This is some of my favorite superheroes.
What about video game stories of the year?
I think it's weird because it's a different thing when I bring in a Claire Obscure, which is like way more serious and way more trying to do
They're
more and
doing
all that
something
stuff.
very
But
different, yeah.
as far as what this exists in the realm of comedy, superhero shit, right? Like a fun story to get invested in the characters and all that, it knocks out of the park. I love this game.
Greg, what about you?
Thank you so much, Barrett. Yeah, everyone knows I'm a Telltale fan from long ago, and I've been around a long time with this. And yes, of course, if we have, I didn't do it at the top, I should have. Sorry, everybody. Of course, this is the developers ad hoc, publishers ad hoc with some Critical Role partnership stuff. Ad hoc is comprised of some former Telltale devs you would know about, and of course, the Steam description on Dispatch is a superhero workplace comedy where choices matter. Manage a dysfunctional team of misfit heroes and strategize who to send to emergencies around the city, all while balancing office politics, personal relationships, and your own quest to become a hero. I wasn't cooler on it, but I was in a similar place with 1 and 2 of like, okay, I want to see where this goes, but I really don't like the gameplay of it. And that's not to say it's bad. I just don't vibe with the dispatching. I didn't find that to be a mechanic that was, man, every time we came to it in those first 2 episodes, I wasn't like, I can't wait to do this again. And I guess really the second episode, right? And maybe I was even tipping my hat that I had played episodes 3 and 4 beyond that. And so I want to say I said, what, 7.5, 8? I forget. I think I was somewhere in that for the early goings of it. And so when Blessed came out at that time was like 9, I'm like, this kid's fucking crazy. You know what I mean? And throughout this game, I never, ever, ever was excited to sit down and dispatch people.
Wow.
I did not. It's, again, not that it's bad. I just felt like it was such a stick in the spokes of getting going. And it's almost to a degree how I felt about old Telltale, when it would be like, okay, cool, I want to play this Back to the Future game. Oh, I don't want to do any of this shit. I just wanted to make choices, which is what The Walking Dead became, where it was like, okay, cool, it's just to choose your own adventure. Some QTE, obviously, but not like I need to have a gameplay mechanic in here. So I understand putting that in here. I understand why it's here. The hacking thing the same way. Never stoked when this pops up either. It's like, okay, cool. For me, no spoilers. In episode 7, penultimate episode, I felt that was like when it was like, oh, I still don't like dispatching, but this is working narratively so well.
And that was like
and that kind of recontextualized the other ones too.
Yep.
And to my point of finishing this and putting it down and being like, man, I never liked the dispatching of Dispatch, which is the gameplay of Dispatch, right? This is still a 9 out of 10 for me. This isn't an amazing experience. This is a game you have to play. You should play. I would put it in the category of best stories this year in terms of how much heart is in this, how much character is in this, the way they made me care, the way they made me feel. Like,
Greg, can you plug in your mic? Your audio kind of went out there for a second.
better now?
Yeah, keep going.
Cool. Did I miss anything? No, it seems like everybody's still with me. But thank you, Kevin. I'm not saying anything. The way everything connected, that opening to episode 7, wow, I was like, you fuckers. And I think, the not biggest feather in the cap I can say, but in a time right now where there are so many games to play and we are still on Redacted, and there's so many other things to go off to do, let alone double back, blah, blah. Like finishing this game was immediately like, I got to do another run. Wow. I got to do another run, and I want to make that other choice, and I want to do that other thing. And I don't want to, even though it's not much gameplay in terms of the choices you're doing, I don't want to watch a Let's Play of it. I want to go back, and like when we get to the spoiler cast in the second half, there's like things in there. I'm like, how could you have done it another way? What else could I have done? Like, I need to know that kind of shit. Like, this game is special.
Yeah.
One of the things I love most about it is that the choices matter.
Yeah.
Every choice you make feels like a consequential this means something in terms of these character dynamics, or this means something as far as how it's even going to affect gameplay. I think that's one of the reasons I'm so strong on it, even on the gameplay realm, because I liked dispatching a lot. If anything, one of my, like if I'm thinking of things that they could have done better, one, I'm with you as far as the hacking stuff wasn't my favorite. I enjoyed it. Puzzle Poppy, it scratched that itch a bit, but I like dispatching so much that I would have taken another mode that was just the dispatching.
See,
that's how much I enjoyed it.
I
Like
think
how
there's-
long you could go, like kind of thing. Like I'd be
I
really
think there's
into that.
something to that to be said, where hacking by the end of any hacking session, like maybe any episode, whatever, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. I needed more time with hacking, and I think I would have liked dispatching if I spent more time dispatching, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
The fact that they are used sparingly, hacking, I went into the accessibility options and I was like, I don't want to be able to fail. Because it would always be like that last life where I'd be like, oh, you wanted me to do, but then I'm like, I'm too late.
It's too
and
late.
I make a mistake and I'm fucked. So I was like, let me figure it out for what you wanted me to do to then go and do it. And if it was me doing that, if that was the one gameplay mechanic, I feel like I could have gotten really good at that. And same thing with, same thing I talked about in episodes 1 and 2, and again, made it tip my head that I played 3 and 4, was the idea of like, I wish stats just made a little bit more sense of like what valor is to this kind of mission.
Yeah.
It doesn't need to spell it out for me, but it was sometimes where it was like, okay, cool. Well, none of this matters, and I'm trying my best, but I'm sending them. I don't know.
Vigor and combat were the two where I was like, we got to clean these up. A little
Yeah,
bit.
it wasn't until like episodes 5 and 6 where you're doing 2 dispatch sessions an episode, like kind of doing your 2 shifts with a lunch break in between, where I was starting to put together like, oh, okay, like this is why this is important. This, when you get a choice kind of thing in a mission, right, where it's like, oh, you need to help your heroes choose between these 3 options. I was always like, okay, which one is going to be which? And like, I'm starting to understand that more, being more exposed to dispatching rather than it being tutorialized. I think it was a weird choice with how sparingly it was, but I was still really into it. And I agree with you, Greg, of like, in terms of it being used as like almost like hitting an emotional like beat, like that episode 7 moment, I think was really strong and powerful. And I think my only critique with the dispatching is that I wish we had more of that. I still think it was a great way to have like kind of conversational moments with the team and have like these little kind of relationships be teased at between everybody. And I thought that was like a great way to do even more storytelling without getting in the way of like trying to introduce too much stuff into the actual main story.
And I agree with that. And
yeah.
that's again one of the reasons, like again, like now, this is the classic, who are these fucking Z team heroes, whatever. And by the end, like it's like, oh man, like I really dig these guys.
Yeah.
So yes, I want to go back and listen with even more background of what I know about who they are and where they're going. What they're
And to come back, right, to finish the point I was making earlier,
Sorry.
the thing that I really, really love that the game does that I think really elevates it is that this is kind of on top of what you're saying. The gameplay influences the story influences the gameplay, right? Like you're talking about, not to spoil anything, we'll get to that in the second half, but you will have things that happen within the story, and then you start your dispatching, and it really affects it, right?
They're reacting to it.
Yeah, like the choices you make really affect that. And also the same thing as far as, oh, okay, this is where, you're having a lot of these relationships form in the dispatching mode, and then you go out into the story and you're more informed about who these characters are, or, you have a sense of, all right, this is what Gollum's up to, this is, who this character is doing, right? And like, it feeds, those portions of the game feed into each other in such a strong way, and it makes it so that, Dispatch can't work as a TV show, in my opinion. Like Dispatch has to be a video game, one, because I do think the gameplay is important to it, but then also the choices are so important to it as well. Like I can't wait to get into the conversations we have about how we made different choices, and toward the end of the game, it's that fun thing. I'm in between a rock and a hard place where when I play these games, I like to be definitive. I've never gone back and replayed A Life is Strange.
Sure.
I never go back and replay RPGs where I see a journey, because for me, that's my journey.
Yep.
I don't want to have a different journey. This is so far the, I guess, biggest example of me coming out of a choose your own adventure game and being like, fuck, I really want to replay this and see what the other side looks like, because the differences feel so dynamic, and I love that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
I'm keeping to my playthrough. I really adored it, and in terms of Robert's like personal journey, his relationships with other characters, but then also just all the other outside things. I was really happy with the entire thing. So it's almost, and it sucks too, because I want to go back to the dispatching and see if like, oh, can I maybe do a perfect run of
Yes.
just like an entire playthrough where I don't mess anything up, but then it's like,
Dude, I hope they update that. Just give me all the dispatching segments all in a row and do that. Like, let me just get a
Oh.
perfect run.
that would
What
be
I think
good,
would be
like a boss
interesting-
rush mode.
And I know Ad Hoc is watching, and it could be there, but I'm not going to have an easy way to check. I think it'd be really cool, a New Game Plus, to bring in the team I already have with the stats I already have.
Yeah.
And then
yeah.
start from the beginning, just add. And yeah, by the end, it's going to be broken. Everybody's 10 out of 10, but that would also be like encouraging me to play, where it was those
Yeah.
things that I fucked up where I was like, oh shit, I shouldn't have done that combo or whatever.
Yeah. I think in terms of just two negatives, again, this is tough to talk about without spoilers, but there is a certain beat with Chase, Jeffrey Wright's character, that I wasn't fully sold on, and I don't think they ever really pay that off in a way that makes sense in like one of the middle episodes, which we'll talk about later. And then also in terms of the hacking stuff, I was getting into it, but the annoying one that I really hated was the waveform thing where you had to line it
Yes,
up
yes,
because
yes,
it never
yes.
felt like it reacted to like how you moved.
If I can, this is the back to it, right? Where it's like, we're in I think you're in dispatching and in hacking so sparingly
Yep.
to then add a new hacking mechanic that's
Yeah.
only in there like for two things where it's like, all right, now I was going through and it was like, all right, well, if I'm going this way and it got bigger, well, no, that's not how it is. Weird. Up, down. Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And like, you know, adding the virus stuff, I thought was like a needed element to make that feel fresh and like, oh God, like, you know, more stakes in it of like having like an enemy chase you down in this, you know, silly little hacking game. But, and, you know, they use that enough where you get used to it where, you know, you're doing some difficult sequences at the end. But yeah, that waveform thing, I was like, what is
Yeah.
going on
The
here?
hacking was the only moments for me where I was like, all right, I got to do this. And like, not in a, oh, this fucking sucks kind of way, just
Yeah.
that everything else is just more fun.
And that's my thing where it's like, I think that again is such a compliment to the writing and the choices you're making in the animation and the performances. But it's like that stuff is so 10 out of 10 that for me to get to a gameplay mode that's in the sixes, it's okay.
Yeah.
Like, okay, but the 10 out of 10 is so good. I think it only brings it down that point where I'd never be like, I mean, again, you can fucking fail them all and still get a story. I'm not sure if you get a different ending, certainly.
yeah.
Well, maybe I am.
So many quotables in this game, right? So much good writing, so much good comedy in this game. It is rare that I am playing video games nowadays and I'm laughing to myself. Out loud.
I was funny because when I was doing, I was laughing. You weren't back there yet, blah blah. And then when I heard you guys laughing around the room, I was like, okay, good, I'm not alone.
Yeah. Hilarious game. The soundtrack also I really love.
So
They do
good.
such a good thing too with like, actually I'll save it to the spoiler segment. Good what do they call it when motifs? Good motifs that come back and they enhance and do all that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, great needle drops. I always loved the logo treatment every episode too, of like how is it going to pop up
Yeah,
this one, this
yeah.
episode, and then kind of alluding back to what I was talking about earlier of like this story being like a Guardian Suicide Squad kind of thing, where I feel like those stories, because they have to focus so much on the kind of core team, this doing that story, but then also, you know, doing kind of typical Telltale stuff where it's like, okay, now we've got like possibly a love triangle going on here. And then also we're going to set up like a villain stuff. I was honestly impressed how well all of those things were pulled off by the end, because like we were, you know, like,
We were like episode 4, and you were still like, it seems
don't-
like they're gonna rush this villain at the end.
That's how I
yeah,
felt
and,
too,
and
yeah.
like I wasn't convinced that.
So
like,
you were happy with it?
Yeah, I honestly was. Like, it wasn't the most in-depth thing, but I think the way that they're brought in kind of the final half of the game, I think really worked for me. It's not like, you know, they're the most in-depth character or anything, but I thought in terms of, again, the relationships and how this game sells you the relationships and knowing the backstory of the villain and all this stuff, I thought was really well done, and I was surprised by that. Yeah, especially being at the end of episode 4, being like, man, are we really going to get back to this at all? And I thought they, you know, stuck the landing.
Yeah.
And I think for the villain, especially, right, where it is like the villain isn't the main character, nor even I would go as far as stupid as not even the main antagonist, right? Like it really is Robert's own demons, and it is trying to figure out your place in this world, and that's been the motivating thing and the kick in the ass for the story. But I wasn't hurting when they pop back up. I was used to it. I was with you of like, oh, they're gonna pop back up and be not cool, not well done, and it popped up. I was like, oh, you know what? This is fine. It's a
cool.
power grab.
They're cool as hell.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like
yeah.
I fucking loved like moments where the villain would speak, and I'm like, man, there is a level of intimidation that this
Yeah,
character.
yeah.
I think
brings.
the performance really carries it. for sure.
Matthew Mercer fucking kills it, right? Like,
Yeah.
and I think they do such a good job of, again, giving all the characters their own moments. I think it's tough when you have a team of characters and then also you have individual characters that are big characters in the story. And I think they treat the team as a team, but all of the parts of the team work in tandem to like really give that team character. But then when somebody like Blonde Blazer comes up and she has a moment, I'm like, oh shit, yeah, no, you're a good character. And like another person comes up and I'm like, ah shit, yeah, like all of you are carrying your own weight as far as what you bring to the story.
Shout out to my boy Royd.
Shout out Royd.
Not enough Royd. Yeah, you know what I mean? But no spoilers on that one. We do have a super chat from Vesper Pest. Remember, if you want to be part of the show before the spoiler cast, what you thought so far, keep it spoiler free and let me know. If you do spoil stuff in there, I'll save it for the spoiler cast. But Vesper Pest says, fun game, but as a woman, all the women equal hot/needs fixing/ needs romance options made me tired. Just felt a bit fan servicey IMO, especially start of episode 4. I can understand that.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, if you're new or haven't played through it all, like not every female character is romanceable, but that's also not what you're saying. You're saying they're either hot, they need fixing, or they're a romance option.
Mhm.
I would go out to say, well, no.
Yeah.
You caught me in the triangle there. Where I was like, well, Prism isn't a romance option, doesn't need fixing, but she's hot.
Yeah,
Fuck
she's
yeah.
hot.
Shit,
Yeah.
fuck yeah.
Yeah, I do definitely understand. That feels like a slippery slope that a lot of these games do fall down to of like giving you romance options, and I think that's a fair point.
Yeah, the only thing I would, and I'm not arguing at all, but I feel like all the male superheroes are hot too. Sure, one's a bat, one's Gollum.
I mean, I don't know if Waterboy's hot.
Okay, fair.
Yeah.
You see him
But that's
without,
kind of his whole
offense, my-
shtick.
you
no
see him
offense, my
without his
boy
goggles though. Like, I don't know, he's got pretty eyes.
He does have pretty eyes.
He does have pretty eyes.
He has pretty eyes. It's crazy.
New Mateo says some of the influencer VOs took me out of it. Don't want to name names, but it felt like a marketing gimmick more than hiring based on talent.
I couldn't disagree more.
Yeah,
I was gonna say
I-
honestly the same thing, and this is granted I got to interview a few of them when I did the I guess I should have
Cast
said
interview.
that too. By the way, I host the cast interview, so take my opinion with a grain of salt. But no, I was of the same thing, ready to be like, honestly, and this is not a comment on her talent. But when Alana was announced in this game, I was very much like, oh, they're bringing a bunch of streamers in to do throwaway. Oh yeah, hey, you're like they're the B team, the fact that everybody in here, I feel like whether it's Jacksepticeye, whether it's Alana, whether it's Gollum, who I don't know who
Young
plays-
Gravy.
Wh-
That's
Young
what I was going
Gravy.
to comment on. It was like Young Gravy gave one of my favorite performances, just on the comedic level. Everything he said during the dispatch mode had me fucking dying.
And
this
like
last
even
couple
some of the
episodes.
emotional stuff, like near the end of like he did kind of sell it a bit of
Yeah.
like being this Gollum character, and him feeling certain ways about like where the team was going, and I was very surprised by that. And then shout out to Alana. Like I do think,
Huge shout.
and this is more so talking about the cast as a whole, but focusing on her a little bit. Of I've heard Alana in video games before, and like to me, I think. Like, yeah, you can make that comment, but I think they were so well directed that I do think that they like really fit these characters. And I thought a lot about that while listening to Alana give her performance and the subtle little moments. Like, if y'all take a moment to check out Alana's Instagram reel where she talks about the Gib line in episode 5 or 6 or something like that.
I'm gonna throw it in. My sets. I'd love to watch that.
And that was such like a small like moment that you feel kind of the emotion behind it, and I think like the voice directing team I think did a really good job of pulling everything they could out of these people who are not voice actors at the top of their list of all of the things that they do.
And I think they casted them correctly. Like these characters fit the VOs in ways where I don't think I thought about the fact that Young Gravy was in this game. Like I saw the trailers or whatever, but like as I'm playing, I'm not really thinking about the VOs in that way. And I just found myself laughing at what Golem was saying.
Yeah.
And then as I'm reading the credits, I'm like, oh yeah, that's Young Gravy.
Yep.
That makes sense for the way Golem was fucking talking. And I'll say the same about like what's her name, Malevola. Every time she talked, I think because we know Alana, we're like, oh, okay, that's Alana Pierce. But
But like by the end of that game, I wasn't thinking that.
Yeah,
When
I
she
wasn't.
popped up the first time, and it also seemed like she was being used sparingly. I was like, okay, this is how they're going to do it. And then when they really got it in there and let her be the character, and everybody was their character, like, damn, this
It really hit me in the credits, like for the final episode of seeing her like splash screen or title, and like she's like one of the coolest people we know, and I always think about that. But that really hit me of like, damn, that's the homie. Like I worked with her back in the day, and that's fucking insane of just like all the cool shit she's doing, and it just like seeing her credits in this game in particular, this incredible game. It was just like, goddamn.
It's so funny because for me watching the credits, it was the thing where I was like, oh yeah, they didn't just hire influencers though. Like fucking Jeffrey Wright and Aaron Paul are the stars of this game. Like there were decisions made about where they wanted to take the performances and the voice talent here, and I think they made a lot of great decisions. I think they picked the right people.
Kevin, can we watch that Alana video with the sound up?
Sure. Because I'm a fucking winner.
I'm Alice.
Bruno.
Malevola. My last name's Gibb.
That was my stepdad's last name. And they were like, do you want to give her a last name? Because the line was just written as Malevola. And I was like, if I were to do that, I would do it for my stepdad, and they kept it in. I know I recorded that, but I had no idea if they would keep it. So
Wow.
I think that was recorded like just a little bit before he died. I guess I didn't know when I recorded it that he wouldn't still be here by the time the game came out, but oh, that's so sweet. But yeah, now that is like immortalized in a game that that millions of people have played, and it doesn't mean anything obviously, but like I'm like, oh well, now he's like related to this character I played, and that's just really sweet. Yeah. Oh man.
My name's Victor.
That's awesome.
Alana's really cool.
Yeah.
I did a Gregway last week about how cool Alana was. And I think that's another back to like, hosting the conversation between the casts, right? And hearing them all talk about similar stories to that, where they were all approached by the team for these characters. And that's why Prism is just Thought Squad. That's just how she is. You know what I mean? And goddamn, does she have some lines I want to talk about in the spoiler cast eventually, right?
Oh.
But all that thing of like they made these characters with these people in mind so that when they're in the booth and they have them either ad lib or they want to change something, they were totally open to hearing that. And I think that really shines through on why this is so special when you play it. And again, why for me, even though the game, somebody went through, it's gone now as a regular chat, not a super chat. It was from one of the fucking peons, they wanted super chatted. I was saying like, shouldn't gameplay count more in a review? Like, well, a review of anything is that person's opinion. So I'm telling you that I would argue that the amount of people who are drawn in to play a Telltale-like game are not coming in for the gameplay less. You know what I mean? So it is this whole thing.
I would also argue, like, I know video games and art and all this stuff, but to me, what is the art trying to accomplish, and how well does it accomplish that? And I think all the little things in that, like you can talk about on a objective scale or whatever, but like I think this piece of art accomplishes what it sets out to do.
Video games are a
so
whole,
well.
right?
Yeah.
Video games aren't oftentimes when we talk about them in a review sense, it's easier to kind of break down, oh, the sound was amazing, the music was amazing, the gameplay was this, the visuals were that. But at the end of the day, if you believe that video games are an art form, then you have to look at the thing holistically in the same way that we reviewed Ninja Gaiden 4 a few weeks ago on this channel. And
I agreed with you.
And everybody agreed that game is great. But that's a game that I think that story is dog water. I don't give a fuck about the Ninja Gaiden 4 story. Yeah. However, gameplay, some of the most fun gameplay I've had in a video game this year. And so I gave it a good review, or I gave it a great review, in fact, right, talking about it. But like, I'm not going to look at Ninja Gaiden 4, a game titled Ninja Gaiden 4, and be like, the story was bad, 5 out of 10. You know what I mean? The same way that I look at a game like Dispatch, and I'm so in love with the story because so much of the bulk of your experiencing this game is the story, the characters, all that stuff, right? I'm not then going to go, oh, the dispatching was an 8 out of 10, therefore.
Yeah, of course.
No, video games are a special thing because they can be so many things, but you got to look at the whole.
Our final super chat before we kick it over to spoilers. Don't click off yet, everyone. Remember, there's an interview at the very, very back. Kyle super chats and says, I like the fact that even the little choices felt important. Even the choice of my favorite donut had weight, and I can't wait to explore every variation. That's the thing about it where, on the one hand, I'm so excited to talk to you about spoilers. On the other hand, I'm trepidatious of, did we make enough different choices? Because that's always a fun thing where I think we all might have made a very similar choice early on from our conversations in the beginning.
Right.
So I'm wondering how that spirals out in the end of what you actually got. Even when Barrett was like, hey, I just did this. Am I close to, and I'm like, did you do it in this section? He's like, yeah. I'm like, well, I didn't do it in that section, but I imagine that's almost, I want to know that variation in a second.
Interesting.
Anything else to say? Recapping, I say it's a 9. You say
9.5.
Barrett?
The 9.
It's an amazing game right there, everybody.
A contender.
For sure, in the kind of funny game of the year conversation. But is there anything else spoiler free you want to get out before we move on here and let it all go?
Oh,
Okay.
Play this game if you haven't already.
Yeah.
This is a team that learned a lot from their years at Telltale, and I think they've got a very bright future because they are no longer beholden to
Shitty engine.
a shitty engine, and I think they've got a good creative energy with each other that I think this is. I'm excited to see what their future holds.
100%.
I guess the last thing I will say is I do appreciate how they shifted away from the Telltale thing on the gameplay level, right? Like, I think it's bold. I think it's a bold choice to go, we're not going to make a choose your own adventure game where you're walking around the environment and interacting with things. I know as we play Dispatch, the gameplay makes sense for the type of game that it is and who the main character is in the story. But I don't think it should be overlooked of how much of a strong shift that is from what the genre does. And I don't know, I really like that as a choice for this game, right? Trying to figure out on a gameplay level, how do we make this continue to be an engaging thing, a fun thing, something that's going to intrigue and bring people in. And I think they did an excellent job of finding a new way to do an adventure game. So
yeah, and I'm excited to see what other types of little genres or whatever they might dive into that make sense for the stories that they want to tell. Because that was something in my preview that they talked about of finding the story and then creating something in that makes sense for the story.
Yeah.
One final chat out there. Astro Lady said, the QuickTime events got in the way of my enjoyment. Felt like I was watching Dora, LMAO. Cinematic mode all the way. I think that's another thing I thought was really cool. That, again, tailoring this experience and understanding they're trying to bring in people who maybe do want to consume this as much like a TV show or movie as possible. So cinematic mode, you do the QTEs, no fails, all these different things so you could get through it. Right now, of course, I'll remind you, we couldn't get through each and every amazing workday here at Kinda Funny without your support. If you love what we do, pick up a Kinda Funny membership. $10 gets you all of our shows ad-free. That's more than 80 episodes a month. It gets you your daily dose of me, Greg Miller, in a series we call Gregway, including today's Octopath Traveler 0 preview. And of course, you get good karma for supporting 11-person small business. Right now, we're going to take a break and come back with a spoiler cast because you're not using your benefits. So here it is. What? Go, Kevin.
This episode's brought to you by Aura Frames. Aura Frames are the one gift that never get old. It's the perfect gift to bring your loved ones closer and share memories every single day. No lie, Aura Frames are undeniably the best gift I have ever given. Families, friends, partners, everyone loves being able to have beautiful frames showing off their loved ones and all of their favorite memories. Aura Frames are incredibly smart and easy to use, allowing you to upload unlimited photos and videos directly from your phone to the frame. Plus, you can order the frame online and preload it with photos and videos using the Aura app, so it's all ready to go right out of the box when you gift it to somebody. Named #1 by Wirecutter, you can save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com. For a limited time, listeners can get $20 off their best-selling Carver matte frame with the code AURA20. That's AURA frames.com, promo code AURA20. Support the show by mentioning us at checkout. Terms and conditions apply. This episode is brought to you by Shady Rays. Let's talk gifts. Not the kind that get tossed in a drawer, but the kind that actually get used and appreciated. The holidays are coming up fast, and Shady Rays sunglasses are an easy win. You don't even need to think about it. I'm doing the work for you. Every pair is polarized, durable, and lightweight. They've got a ton of great-looking, high-performance styles that hold up no matter what you throw at them. And the price? Way less than you would expect for the quality. And here's what sets them apart. If you lose or break your shades, Shady Rays has your back with their lost and broken protection. No hassle, just a solid guarantee. So whether you're picking up a pair for someone on your list or grabbing one for yourself, Shady Rays makes gifting simple. Quality built, looks great, and actually worth it. Start your holiday gifting early and head to shadyrays.com and use code FUNNY for 35% off polarized sunglasses. Try for yourself the shades rated 5 stars by over 300,000 people. Shadyrays.com, use code FUNNY.
And we're back to the Kind of Funny Games cast as we move into the spoiler section of Dispatch. This is your spoiler cast for Dispatch Season 1, or the only season that exists. Spoilers, bro, are up. This, of course, is your chance to get out before you should play
Get
this.
out.
You should go play this on your own. And if you have and you're already here, congratulations on living our life. Blessing.
Yes.
I let Barrett lead off the review section. I'm letting you lead off the spoiler section. What do you want to talk about?
I want to talk about who you chose between Blonde Blazer and Invisigal.
Yeah,
the most important question
Yeah.
of the season. Episode 4 comes through.
Yeah.
Actually, no. You know what? Before we get there, I want to set the scene because episode 4. Oh man, I love this fucking video game. We got about episode 4.
Yo, that was an opening to episode 4.
That was crazy.
Episode 4, I think, of this game has maybe one of the best utilized sex scenes in a video game ever.
Wow.
The way that it looms
Okay.
over the entire episode, and the way that, like, even as I'm dispatching, I'm like, what happened? You know what I mean? And I, like, the scenes go on, you see Invisigal, and it's like, all right, let's see how this goes. And, like, she immediately is, like, talking to you about it.
I thought
you know,
that was
flirting
such
with
a
you.
nice turn, usually,
Yeah.
right? Where
Yes.
usually that kind of shit happens, and then it's the will they, won't they don't engage. But the fact that she blurts it out right away, you get to engage with it and see what you want to do with it. I was like, oh, that's a really cool way to do it. But they played us like a fucking fiddle.
Yeah. To I guess, set it up for me, right? Like,
Yeah.
in that first episode,
Yeah, did you kiss or no kiss?
I did kiss with Blonde
did you
Blazer.
actually? I did not kiss, so I
Yeah.
don't know what the other option plays out as.
She basically, like, pulls away and is like, oh, I didn't mean to kind of, like, give that vibe.
See, and that was
Yeah.
my fucking thing. Is when it was happening, I was like, I'm not. The game wants me to lean in for this kiss. I don't. This is clearly she's like setting me. And I mean, we know it's a game and whatever.
Yeah.
But I was like, this is a job interview. She's not talking to me as a
See,
romantic.
so that's the
partner.
way I play these games the way that
That's why you
I
kissed me
would-
on your job interview.
That's what we made out. But like, I play this game. I try to play these games in the way of like, what kind of choice would I make? So I'm not trying to be in the video game mind of, well, of course this
Yeah,
isn't going to
yeah,
be
yeah,
romantic.
yeah,
I'm in the mind of like, this girl, this woman, this hot superhero woman has been flirting with me the entire night. And
Yeah,
we're sitting
yeah,
alone
yeah,
on this
yeah.
thing. Like, I'm leaning in for the kiss. And so I think from there, I had it decided in my brain, oh, Blonde Blazer, we're going for it. Like, this is going to be a thing. We're going to make it work out. So opening up episode 4 in that way and having that sex scene, I think, loom over the entire
It'd be
episode
so hot.
to the point where you get to the end and they give you that choice. And I'm like, bravo. That's such a great way to do it because ain't no way I'm going Blonde Blazer after that. Ain't no way I'm choosing Blonde Blazer. I'm with Invisigal.
To go back to that super chat I was talking about, like the fan servicey opening of episode 4, I do understand that, and that is a fair criticism. To me, I loved that more for the push and pull Invisigal is having in terms of like what we learn later on of just like this inner turmoil she has of like working for Shroud and then also, you know, having this internal kind of thing pulling her to actually try and be a hero. And to me, that sex scene that's happening in her dream is less about like a little bit about her being attracted to Robert, but also a bit more of like this desire to like have that part of her life actually be, you know, be what her life is. So
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things I'm interested to see. So it's like, and chat, let me know if you've. There are people still here live. Congratulations, thank you. Did anyone go and romance Blonde Blazer? Because I want to know how that nets out. Like,
Yeah.
is that and not even the kiss in the beginning, right? The way it goes from there with putting on her dress and doing the stuff. Can you be an item with her by the end of it? Like, I don't know.
I think though. I guess I assumed that there were the 3 options of romance Invisigal, romance Blonde Blazer, or end up with nobody. Because that's how I ended up. Is I just ended up with nobody.
Did you end up with Invisigal?
Oh yeah, I ended up with Invisigal. Yeah.
I tried and failed.
Wow.
Yeah.
So how
Okay.
does yours end then?
Well, she becomes evil.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Oh.
Does she, so she doesn't become evil in yours?
No.
Huh.
I wonder. So like,
Yeah.
because here's my thing is like I defended her every fucking step of the way.
So you didn't fire her when the rest of the team wanted her fired?
No. Yeah,
I
I-
did, and that's what.
Yeah,
so
I
like
did
the,
too.
on my stat screen for episode 8, I have the one that's neglected Invisigal. She embraced villainy over heroism.
Wow.
And I was like, I did it once. You know what I mean? Like, and like the entire team was like, we don't feel comfortable. And it's like, it's similar to here. I can love one of y'all, but if everybody hates one of you, I'd be like, I gotta.
To me, I took that as, you know, they're lashing out while feeling down. And the thing that solidified defending her in that moment wasn't even like, oh, I'm trying to romance her or whatever. It was Flambe and his argument of like, you know, like, y'all let me back and I was like a total dick. And, you know, like if that didn't happen, like, you know, I don't know where I would be. And it was like, fuck. And so like, it was like, I made this decision and then like morale went down. So like my final couple of dispatches, like all of their morales were like down. So I think some of their stat stuff was decreased, but I was like, morale's going to be down now, but I think this is going to be better for the team in the long run.
Goddamn, Crow 7 Bloss says, whoa, I fired her and still ended up with her.
What? That's crazy.
See, that's the thing of like what these little things are. Now, granted, I had to have my save rebuilt by ad hoc because I lost my first 4 episodes, but they gave me the big choices and I gave them what I did, and they gave me a save that I thought was pretty much the same.
The thing that sorry, now we're just kind of going all over.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? This is what it's about.
The thing I wasn't sold on was like how much Chase hates her, and like in the episodes
when he gets drunk and like yells.
Yeah, and like yells at her because like it's teased throughout the first half of that show, the season of, you know, like him not trusting her, like, oh, she's my least favorite and all this stuff. And it comes to a head in that episode where he's drunk yelling at her. And I was expecting almost of like, oh, he brought her in and she did something like really fucked up to him personally or something like that. And like that never came back in a way that I felt like was fully sold to me.
Yeah.
And especially with like his moment where he saves her. I was like, I see where they wanted to go with that emotionally. That was the one aspect of this entire season where I was like, you didn't quite sell that to me.
It definitely, it felt like it came up out of nowhere. I chalked it up to like, okay, well, he's drunk, and maybe it's the thing of he's seeing me flirt with Invisigal, and maybe he's just like not approving of this thing of me flirting with somebody who formerly was a villain or whatever. But that felt like I had to take the leap to kind of put him in that mind state, as opposed to the game actually telling me this is why he's so mad at.
See, and I think the way it played out for me, where again, and this is the sign of a good choose your own adventure game, right? Where I feel like I made every right choice. And so to get here and have not be with her, even though we kissed in the locker room.
You leaned in?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you got to lean in.
You got to lean in. Yeah, even though we kissed in the locker room, even though, like, you know, she saved me at the end, right? How did you, well, we'll get to, for Shrod, what did you give him?
I gave him both.
Yeah, me too.
You gave him both?
Yeah.
What happens when you give him both?
He's like, Robert, these look exactly the same. And Robert's like, yeah, the only way to beat you, since you know how to do everything,
is to be unpredictable. And like,
so
you
have
to
the wrong
choose
one in.
No shot, really?
Yeah.
Wait a second. Okay.
So he puts the wrong. Oh, this is interesting because you know
I didn't do that.
So he puts the wrong one in. He wigs out. He throws up. All the other people start throwing up because they're all like hive mind connected.
Yeah.
And then like when he's like on the ground, whatever, Invisigal comes up and stabs him in the throat and kills him that way.
See, for me, it was and I knew I played it wrong as soon as I did it, but I gave him the fake one, and he was like, "Nice try," throws it away, give me the real one.
Did he kill the dog?
No.
Okay.
Because I gave him.
I was not going to be able to put up with beef.
That was the thing. It was like I got to make sure this dog fucking lives, and it was one of those like he already is calling out about the fake one, so I got to just give him both and just see what that was the only time in a decision I paused.
Yeah.
Because that was like, I don't give a fuck about anything else. If anybody else dies, who gives a shit? This dog
Beef's got to make it.
Live.
Beef's got to make it.
I wanted to do the thing where I gave him the real one, so he would be like, "Nah, give me the like." He throws that one away. I think if you replay it, that's what I assume. If somebody in chat did it that way, let us know. But yeah, I give him the fake one. He throws it away. I give him the real one. He puts in the real one, and he becomes fucking like super powered up, and is like on the verge of, okay, well, I'm about to take shit over. And then that's when Invisigal comes through, stabs him in the neck, and defeats him. That
Oh,
way.
interesting. Yeah, for me, it was he throws up. He gets messed up, and then he pulls out the gun that he used to kill your dad, and he shoots it. And Invisigal has been invisible the entire time in front of you, and she takes the bullet.
No way.
Oh, that's crazy.
And so that was like her actual true heroic moment, and that's why everybody at the end for my team all welcomes her back, because she had this like actual self-sacrifice type of moment. She ends up living, but that was just like still like a big like, oh shit. Like,
I guess I definitely.
she kills him, and then she picks up the mask.
Yeah, same.
And she gives you a look or whatever, and then she goes invisible with the mask and is gone.
oh shit.
Yeah, I left out the part where he does when you give him the actual thing. When he's powering up, he's like, okay, well, now my predictions are telling me that if I leave you alive, you're gonna come after me, and so I'm gonna now shoot you. So he pulls out the gun, and that's when Invisigal stabs and takes up the mask.
This is the stuff, man.
Which is like
this is
this is
shit,
fascinating because
man.
I think one of the things I really like about Shroud as a villain is one, he comes through, he's cool as shit, like he's fucking dope. I love villains. I just like I predict your every single move type of thing. But the fact that in me and Greg's story, Invisigal is the one who kills him and then takes up the mask. I just viewed it as, oh, the next game Invisigal is gonna be the ultimate villain, and that's gonna be a fucking dope like she's really the villain here.
Yeah.
To hear that she's not the villain in your story
No.
blows my mind.
Everybody's friends, and the person that I cut that I know people want us to talk about was Sonar, because I
Did you guys cut Sonar?
I cut Sonar.
I cut Coop.
I
yeah.
cut Coupe.
I really liked Coupe in terms of just like what she added in terms of the dispatch like stat stuff, and like in that episode story wise, it was like Sonar got tied up in the gym or whatever. I was like, all right, well he's kind of a dipshit, so like I'm just gonna cut him, and then you get the chance to welcome him back to the team at the very end, and like they start arresting him, and everybody else is like, no, hey, he's one of us, and
You say he got tied up in the gym?
yeah, and like the episode where you have to decide like which one you cut.
Yeah.
Someone led him into like the workout like room or whatever at the dispatch.
Oh, I've
and like because they were gonna promise to show him like boobs or some shit. But then they just it's when they're all being competitive,
I remember
and so
this.
they tie him up so he can't be like out there like actually dispatching.
Yeah.
So that was kind of
So did you get him? He came back to the team.
yeah, and so he's getting arrested at the end, and then your entire team's like, no, he's one of us. Like he fell to the like. He got cut.
Okay, so sorry, because I know where this is going, and I want to bring it into the Coop scenario. When everything's going wrong in Torrance and it's all exploding, was he working with the red guys and coming through and doing
yes,
whatever?
he was.
Oh,
He
okay.
was.
So that was Coop on my game because of how it worked out.
Right.
I did not stop her before she got there. And so then we go and play out the attack on SDN, right? And all the stuff's happening. At the end, for me, she's being led in handcuffs to the car, and the team goes, hey, whoa, she's one of us. She looks scary. I understand why it'd be confusing. And they cut over to Robert and Mandy, Blazer on the car, and Robert goes, is this my call or whatever? And you're drinking a beer with her, and she goes, it would have been, but she said
you're weak or
she said we were weak or
Yeah.
whatever, and so they just let her get put in the cop car and
wow.
taken away.
Yeah.
So that was one of my.
I assume that's if you fail the
I think so too.
dispatch.
Yeah, because you stopped. I assume.
Yeah, I was able
You
to
stopped
stop Sonar in the final like dispatch thing, where they're kind of like your final boss, I would say, in the dispatch part of the game.
Yeah.
And so because you're just getting bombarded by all of these calls, but then eventually it was like, okay, do whatever little calls I can just to keep my health bar up, and just focus whenever I can on Sonar, and not get distracted by all of the other calls.
The worst luck during that segment where I kept trying to go after Coupe because she was our boss, right? And I would set it up to where I would have the percentage advantage, but it was usually around like 65, 70, and I failed every single time.
That's tough.
Like 3 in a row of me having the advantage and failing 3 times in a row.
For me, I was just running out of team. I was like sending it out there, and I was doing them, and they'd be resting, and they'd be sending. I'm like, Waterboy's not the guy, but you're the only guy, and he'd go out and he'd fail the mission. Like, oh fuck.
What else?
I mean, I have all of it written down here or whatever in terms of where it went out. What did it get? What did they call you at the end? My final screen is your Robert was an everyman. Your Robert always kept everyone guessing what he'll say or do. Do you remember off your final stat screen on
Mine was an everyman as well.
I was a true hero. Your Robert always tried to do the right thing at the right time.
I was trying to do that too. I thought I was doing that. Couldn't do it. Couldn't keep it up. What?
Not a choice thing. I just want to shout out like the relationship between Robert and Chase. Like that really
So good.
was driven home. Like their performances with each other and the rapport together was so great and pulled that along in the first half. But then when you get the cliffhanger, like I've been waiting for these last 2 episodes all fucking week just because of how last week ended with Chase sacrificing himself and all that. And the way episode 7 starts with the flashback of them and like really driving home of like, right, he looks like an old dude, but in reality, like he was Robert's older brother in a way. And like the way they sold that, and all the other relationships, I think in lesser ways, I was just so goddamn good.
Yeah, I think when in episode 2 when Robert comes to SDN and Chase is there, and then he gets the review. Why let old man hug you? Why would you just be like, random old man hug you? I thought that was so good, but it was also like again, why I want to go back and do it again. It was like, oh, that's cool, but I don't fully understand this relationship. You know what I mean? And then to get to the end and get that episode set. I mean, after the cliffhanger of 6, get that start of 7 of him as a kid, the crying and the Twinkies and then the keep up. After getting the keep up last time, I'm like,
And that's right, like that's just like to me like really good storytelling that like pays off in a way where little moments maybe don't work for us in like the first half, and you're saying like kind of motifs, but also callbacks that like really paid off and recontextualize your thinking of story beats early on with those last couple of episodes.
So I'm not proud of this moment.
I'm gonna grab a Coke, but I'm listening.
There was one scene where I looked at my phone, looked back up, and a major thing happened, and I was like, "How the fuck did we get here?" How did Chase? For you in that final battle, Chase took like the gem from Blonde Blazer.
Yeah.
Was it that? Because I remember her getting blasted through the building.
Yep.
Was it at that point where she just puts the thing in on Chase?
For me, they don't show that of like her going to Chase and putting the gem.
He just shows up.
He just shows up as a surprise. And
okay, well that.
And I imagine I imagine if you romance or go down the Blonde Blazer route and actually hang out with her, that you learn that probably because
no way.
You don't think that she tells you about like my superhero thing? Because I've seen scenes that I haven't seen from like the last couple of weeks of her with brown hair. So I do wonder
You've seen him in action or stills?
In like Instagram clips and shit.
Oh shit, fuck.
So I do wonder if there's a moment if you learn about that earlier,
was very confused
that
about her brown
makes
hair.
that a bit more satisfying because that was another moment where it
Jinker
was
says
like,
yes, she does during the date scene.
yeah.
I romanced her, and it was this is somebody over there.
Because to me that was
Okay.
like, oh, this would have been a more satisfying reveal if it was if there was a layup to it, and then I thought
That makes more
there's
sense.
probably a layup to it if you actually go down and hang out.
Because I was
with her.
confused. So
I still
knowing
think
that.
there was a missing thing there because like I thought not cheap isn't the right word. But she gets blasted through the wall. It's a big deal. Like, they step back through the glass. And the way she hits, I was like, oh, is she paralyzed?
Yeah.
Or is she hurt? Is she dead? So then for it to be like, no, she was 100% fine. Nothing. She just went and gave it to Robert. I was like,
It felt like a Deus Ex Machina a little bit.
Okay, that makes me feel not crazy then, because I was like, I think I looked at my phone, looked up, and I was like, Chase, what the fuck what are you doing here? What happened to Blonde Blazer?
Thank God he's okay, though. I didn't want to lose him.
Well, for now.
Let's not be afraid to kill characters, guys. You know what I mean?
Also kind of true. Yeah, I
let
agree.
him come back.
Yeah.
I mean, I do like him though. I do like his character.
Especially like I imagine he did the TV interview at the end too, where he's trying not to swear at first.
yeah.
And then he just throw it all
we
off.
can't believe it. Very good. Very, very good.
That's so funny.
I put down not everyone, the major ones for every episode. Did you throw alcohol or water on Flambe in episode 1?
Oh, I don't remember. I want to say water.
Alcohol,
yeah. So it burned off his eyebrows.
Oh, I
The
definitely did water
entirety,
then. Yeah.
We already talked about kissing. The reporter, did you attack the reporter? When the reporter was mean to you and said something really out of line about you being a failure, I just walked away from the podium. But then I saw this one of like, did you attack the one? I'm like, oh, fuck.
No, I answered.
Was there 3 choices or only 2?
Yeah, I think you could have responded, whatever.
I think I did
respond,
that.
attack. Yeah. Did you fist bump Royd at the toilet?
Of course.
No, I did not.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
No, you gotta.
I played the way I would do it in real life. I'm not fist bumping you at the toilet, bro. I'm sorry.
But if it's
No,
if it's a bro like that,
not at the toilet. You
I don't give
you
a
just
shit.
touched
Royd's
your
cool,
thing.
man.
I don't give
You
a shit.
touched your D.
Remember how
And now we're
remember he
connected
says
for
he doesn't-
life.
Remember he doesn't wash his hands.
That is true.
He gyrates his hip. That was
Yeah,
funny.
I touched my thing. No,
Yeah,
I'm not.
But like inner hands, but you're doing outer hands.
Oh, you don't know how I pee.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Jinkers QQ says, "Who's in the cat costume in episode 8?"
That's just like
I think it's
show
who
them.
they are, right?
Yeah.
I think it's in the episode 1 or 2 when they're walking around Estienne, whenever it was his introduction, they showed it. And I think I read it at the time of like, I forget what Blonde Blazer says. I just took it as like, oh, that's a creature that's what they look like.
Well, they do tease in the credits of episode 8, like them taking the mascot
Oh, I didn't see
half
that. Okay.
thing off, and then like someone's hand like covers their face or something like that. So
okay. I really liked when they put the fucking Irish up the coffee,
Yeah,
and then
that
gives
was
it to
good.
Robert, and he drinks it, and he looks at me and he goes, like, "You need this. Take this." That was fucking great.
I've had those coworkers before.
Okay, so anyways, then what type of donut did you do in episode 2? I did a Long John.
I don't remember.
I just did the basic glaze, I think. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, I probably did glaze. I
Plain
definitely
glaze.
did glaze because I remember the joke now.
I think this would have pertained mainly. Did you ask Blonde Blazer out at episode 2?
No.
Yeah.
Episode 2.
This is right before Phenomena Man shows up. She hasn't broken up with him yet. nor has she revealed a relationship. In the parking lot, you can ask her out or not. I did not. Because again, I was
must
like, I'm
have,
not
because
chasing.
I was going after it. Yeah, I
And then
must
she
have.
must have let you down easily, I guess, because then Phenomenant Man shows up.
Yep.
Yes.
And invites you guys to dinner, and Blazer does the don't come.
Yeah.
Did anybody go?
No, I
No.
did not. But I really want to hear from the 10% of people
Oh,
who
yeah.
chose to go.
Yeah,
of,
like, let's have
what
this
that
awkward
looks
ass.
like.
Where were they going to Italy or Japan or something? Like,
Yeah.
I would love to do that. We already talked about in episode 3 who you cut. Episode 4, I added Water Boy over Phenomenon.
Same.
Yeah.
Yes,
I didn't want
I
to put
did
up
as
with
well.
that bullshit on the team. I can't have Travis Willingham sad ass walking around.
I did like that. I assume that whoever you choose, the other one does also join you for
Yeah,
the
for
last
the end
episode,
hours,
right?
yeah.
But yeah, I chose Waterboy. I was like, give this kid a shot at the table. You know,
Yeah.
Phenomenon, give him a little bit of time.
I was scared he'd kill me.
But it was funny on the drive to work today, thinking about getting excited. I was like, man, I haven't seen I thought when I said no to Phenomenon, I was like, clearly we're gonna see you throughout the other episodes though, because you're Travis Willingham. You're gonna have no, just fucking gone until that last episode. Like, damn,
Yeah.
they really.
And I love that like he and Blazer have a little bit of a moment, not as like just like as a tie
I
together.
hope this
of,
is
like,
okay. He's respecting.
I hope this is
boundaries.
appropriate and like all this stuff.
His
and
fucking.
Yeah.
I thought we said cool it on the fruit baskets or whatever. He's like, I bought a membership.
I
Like, you're
have a
welcome.
monthly-
11 more months for $899 or whatever. A Snowbike Mike move I heard of.
Oh god.
And then we all went to the movies with Invisigal, yeah?
Yep.
Yeah.
Hot.
Did you tell when you were did you have that conversation outside the taco place? Did you have the conversation with Team Z and tell them you were Mecha Man?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
of
mean, you
course.
have to. Also, man, that is definitely one of my favorite scenes in the
Dude, that
in the
bar
thing.
fight?
The bar fight, the way they framed it with like you're hanging out afterwards, eating the tacos or whatever,
Yeah,
and then
yeah,
they
yeah.
transition
Keep
into
going
the
back
fight.
and
So
forth.
good.
Really,
and
really
that's
good.
and that's one of those things where I'm thinking about like how passionate they were to do this in a different engine, stuff like that. I'm just thinking about like how badly this would have run if this was like Telltale produced,
Yeah,
right?
dude.
But then also like that, the framing of that entire episode is so good. Of starting with the flashback of like you like taking down Flambe and like how that all comes back together, and it gave us one of the best songs of the year. I'm a bitch. My name is Robert.
That was like the only credits.
I got a tiny little peen.
That was the only credit roll where I'm like, I gotta sit.
I gotta get
to the end. Yeah, I'm letting this roll.
A lot of people are commenting that Phenomenon Man is hilarious throughout. If you do choose him, he's just depressed all the time, which I know from the end there he still has the depressed buff, but I guess you
Yeah.
have to put up with the entire time if you
Water. I think Waterboy was a bit much for me as far as like his personality, him
Yeah.
being like, you know, I don't even know how to describe him. Him just being Waterboy.
Weird little
all the
loser.
time. Yeah, little
Yeah,
loser.
yeah,
But
yeah.
I think even more so like him.
But that
Every time he talked, I was like, okay, I'm over it.
I don't know.
I'm over it.
I didn't think I was afraid he'd be too much. Based on seeing him in episode 2, right? Whenever
Yeah.
his introduction is, and then I liked him. I thought they used him the right amount, and I thought it really paid off
Yeah.
at the end when I think he sprays Shroud in the face with water, and it actually stops him, and he goes, "I did something right." And I
Yeah,
was
it's like
"Oh yeah,
I'm helping.
yeah,
but then
exactly.
also like emotionally, I think episode 7 or whatever, where you're in the break room with him, and he's kind of doing his own like I'm mad, I'm like knocking stuff over, but then I put the cup back, but then he breaks the vending machine. Is like
get that damn Twinkie out.
Yeah, that's good.
yeah, and so like I think he was used the right amount. For me personally, I don't think he was
That's
overused.
why I turned that kid into a star though.
Yeah.
Waterboy,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
Let me tell you, I brought his
He,
hero.
he carried
made him a hero.
the smarts and the he had another big stat.
I
for-
made
I
him
forget what.
very vigorous. I gave him vigor, whatever that is. Yeah.
I made him bigger. I want. Arvel has a question. Did everybody tell Blonde Blazer about her areola showing?
Yes.
Yeah, of
You
course.
have to.
Yeah.
But back to it. That there's 2 scenes that'll stick with me, I think, forever from this are the bar fight set to the music or whatever, and then the house party set to the music when they dance.
Yes.
around. But I want to call out the bar fight, and it's quoted in the YouTube chat, but I fucking loved it. Of like, oh, Prism temporarily blinded me. Temporary? You blind forever.
That's so good.
Like I was like fucking.
Yeah.
And shout out to the small arm dude who comes back, like in the
Oh, yeah.
final episode. He's like,
We're gonna
"Let's
break
break
their
their arms." And the
Yes,
Greek-
we're gonna break their
Yeah,
arms.
we're
It's a
gonna break
weird.
their arms.
He's like, it'll be a weird crime scene.
Yeah, and then like the callback to you calling the slimy dude like him having a small dick,
Yeah,
and then punch up.
yeah.
Oh my
He's
god.
like going
He
up
walks
against
over,
him.
He's got a special move.
Yeah, and then like later on, he's like, "My perfect dick."
my dick. My
So many good callbacks. So many good running jokes in this
Yeah.
thing.
Did we in episode 7? Did we forgive Invisigal for working with? I mean, being the reason you blew up?
Yes.
Forgive.
I
In
did
the
forgive
locker
her.
room, there's a conversation, and then like one of the options is just
Oh.
forgive.
Yeah, where
forgive
she
you.
reveals
See,
to you
can't
that,
forgive
like-
me. I just told you. It's like, who cares? I knew you were a bad guy. Doesn't matter. You're a bad guy to me.
Yeah.
What did you
Was-
say? Do you remember?
Well, no, I think I'm complaining because there's one. I remember her being like, I don't know what to make. Oh no, that's later. Sorry, I'm thinking of a later thing. I think I forgave her. I'm thinking of when she reveals that she's working with the bad guys.
Gotcha. Okay.
Mm.
Did you smash the bartender with the glass when you were sitting
Yes.
there? Yeah, me too.
Oh no, I didn't. I kept it cool.
Oh wow, look at you. Shroud just goes and kills them all the same though.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Now we're into like so much stuff we've talked about. I want to make sure. Yeah, I assume we all cut Invisigal loose though too, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
No.
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 Did this not happen? for you?
You're talking about
she's-
the scissors? Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Okay. Cool.
Oh no, I didn't do that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Left her hung up. See, I cut her. And that's why I'm still like, why?
Yeah.
Why can't we be together? You know what I mean? Fucking sucks. What did I do wrong? What did I do wrong, Ad Hoc?
Well, this is an interesting one. So, one of the stats that was called out to me as well was, like you had that conversation with Chase early on of, you told, Chase whether you would or not kill Shroud. And so I told Chase I would not kill Shroud in that episode, and then I decided to not kill Shroud at the end. So I also do wonder if there's a little bit of that factoring into the story as a whole. I don't know.
Yeah, I never got the chance to kill him. I had said I would kill him too, and then yeah, like I didn't, and like or didn't write it down. Oh, so yeah, hold on, I didn't kill him. All right, I said I would kill him, didn't get the chance, and then my one here, yeah, you and 22% of players watched as Invisigal killed Shroud, denying you the chance to exact vengeance or show mercy.
Yeah, that was same for me.
Look at dope scene though. Look at her just fucking icing him.
Whoa, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Again, like I know we're way out of the review now, but like we talked about how great the writing is, how great the voice actors are, how great the story is. So beautifully animated.
Yeah.
Like what a gorgeous game to watch.
Oh yeah, dude, Blonde Blazer, coming into the bar, after
Dude, when you're being tortured or wherever, she
Yeah.
comes in and she like lights up. I was like, damn.
it's such a good looking scene. And then I forget the exact line, but her essentially being like, you know, I'm not gonna be able to take out all of you, but
Either all
50%
of you can leave or half of you can die.
Yes, and then
It's like,
fucking Shroud being like,
I
can-
can 33.
yeah, that, and then, but also being like, I can tell they're nervous or whatever. I forget the exact line, but him sensing that and being like, all right, let's go.
Yeah.
We can't do this.
And just like the cinematography of it all, and I think that's like the main thing that carries Shroud for me, of just like the use of like color and framing around him. I think also kind of like brought him up a little bit, even though he's a bit more basic of a villain. But I think that's why he gives like a big impression, like
Yeah.
a Darth Vader in episode 4. Right?
Exactly.
So fucking cool.
Yeah.
Those were all the major choices. Is there anything else we need to clear the mechanism, get out? We can always double back another time.
Yeah.
Say something on a regular show.
I don't
Still
know.
worry about it.
I don't know if there's anything else that's like,
I want to. I was last night. I was talking to Jen about it. I'd like to do another one with her, and then the problem is I want to do different stuff, but I'll leave it up to her. So you run the risk of just doing the same fucking thing.
You guys' favorite episode? I think mine was episode 4.
Yeah, well, I mean, what a start.
Come on.
Come on now.
It was like what a start and then what an end, and like the way the
Yeah.
start and the end kind of work together for like a strong middle as
It's
well.
so tough because I feel like, again, it works so well as a whole, and it got better in like as badly as I want to go replay it all the way through. I just think there's something about episode 7 and this flashback to start with Chase, and then establishing the relationship we that they hinted at, but here it is, and now I know it, and the keep up, and then to end it with blonde Blazer and him on the thing, and then the explosions going off. I was like, damn, fuck this.
Yeah. And I, like for me, I think gameplay wise, like episode 7 and 8, like really stand out in terms of the dispatching. What you were alluding to earlier of like, you really feel like the team hurting in episode 7 of the dispatching with Invisigal out and like all of that. And then like episode 8, where you slowly have to bring the team all together in terms of like finding their locations and all that stuff. Like that really worked for me. I think gameplay wise, I was like, man, I wanted more of this throughout the entire thing.
Yeah.
I think in terms I really loved last week's episodes, episode 5 and 6. Like 5 being centered around, to me, like Flambe and that whole reveal, and then you revealing to the team at the end, and then him going, like, essentially, like, fucking off and, like, Gollum saving you, and then coming back in episode 6 where, you have, like, the little house party thing, and then him coming back. Like, to me, that whole framework really like worked for me. And then the end where Chase says keep up, and like that whole that again, it's been a long week to wait for these episodes. And to me, I really loved last week's episodes, and I just because I think I was the only person who got this opportunity of either killing or showing mercy to Shroud. I showed mercy.
Wow.
Yeah.
What happened? Oh, just
You beat the fuck out of him, and then he just he gets taken away in like an ambulance.
Cool.
very cool.
Yeah.
Look at that.
I'm excited to see where they go for, assuming there's going to be a Dispatch 2 or Dispatch Season 2.
Yeah.
I'm so fascinated based off our conversations what they do with it, because I thought the easy thing was, oh, okay, cool. Invisigal is now the villain, right? She's the leader of the thing. But hearing about how Barrett's story went,
Yeah.
This is always the thing, right? Of like, I'm like, oh, well, Coop could do something. Oh, Coop doesn't have to be bad in everybody's game. So it's always hard to do this and then try to pick the canon endings.
And also, like, I mean, the game's called Dispatch, so I feel like you kind of have to stick to the dispatching part of it. But the fact that you're back in the mecha suit, what does that do as far as, what Robert's
But I think
doing?
that could also be an interesting way to do it, right? Where you shake it up and it's not Robert's story anymore. You're another dispatcher at SDN, maybe a different city. Maybe you get some of the people sent over there. There's something to that effect.
Yeah, I think I would prefer that. Like to me, it's like one of those. They just talked about this in like an interview or whatever, or I think on Fronts Per Second maybe, of like, hey, this wasn't a thought for us 3-4 weeks ago of doing a season 2, but now it is a possibility with how big it has gotten.
Yeah,
I think
which I don't believe, by the way.
Yeah, like
the way this ended, there's gonna be a season 2.
I don't know. To me personally, it's like I think Telltale got so. It got so tough to enjoy Telltale's series the longer they went, and I think it's because of these permutations.
Yeah,
and I think it's like, how do you even try to build a season 2 with how different things can end for so many people at the end of season 1 and have it actually be satisfying? So to me, like I know this will probably be a minority take, but like I would personally either different person story in the world not containing these characters, or they're off to do a different thing and find a different level of gameplay to introduce from a different genre, like the dispatching, right? To bring into.
I'd be surprised if you think that's as a minority take as you think it is. Because I've said a lot as we've talked more and more about Telltale now in recent months, right? Of like, I think one of the big misses for them, as much as I love those games, is there should have been no more Clem after season 1.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the fact that we got multiple more seasons playing as Clem, seeing Clem, now there's a graphic novel of Clem. It took so much of the juice out of that ending.
Yeah.
And so to end this here and have it be that was your world, and then like I would look at it if I'm in Ad Hoc's writer's room of like, let's make another one, and let's put it in New York or whatever, Hoboken, New Jersey, since they want to be like Torrance, which if you're not familiar is not a big LA town.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Put it into a smaller town over there, and it's the idea that now that Trackstar's back, because I feel like, and that has to happen, right? He can't really die. He wants to get back in the race, and so he's going to be dispatchable over here, right? And he comes with one other Team Z member, and they mention Robert, but they never go into the details of, did you hear he fucking let Invisigal go to jail, or he married her? You know what I mean? Like we don't have to do that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which I think I don't think this ending is not so seared in my memory in the way of Walking Dead season 1, which was so serious. Like this is a comedy. It is a bunch of stuff. Aaron Paul is so good at being Robert Robinson that if you're gonna, you could just give me him as Mecha Man too, that he's being dispatched in Hoboken, New Jersey, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you've met, hey, why'd you move out here? Oh, I had a bad breakup. I don't want to talk about it. You know what I mean? And then just leave it at that. Then you as yourself color in the picture. Like there's a bunch of stuff for it. But
there's ways to do it for sure.
Yeah.
We'll wait and see how they do it. That is the end of your spoiler cast for Dispatch, everybody. But it's not the end of this episode of the Kinda Funny Games Cast, of course. As I told you at the top of the show, tomorrow, the one, the only Snowbike Mike is going to walk me through his hour-long demo of Ark Knights Enfield in a sponsored stream over on youtube.com/kindoffunnygames, twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames, podcast services around the globe. But we wanted to put the interview he did right here. So let me read my official blurb. Yeah. Mike went down to LA to interview the team from Griffline about their upcoming game, Ark Knights Enfield. He spoke with the game's producer and lead designer about their studio, the game, and all the upcoming features to be showcased in Beta Test 2 launching November 28th. This, of course, is Mike talking about the stuff that he would then go and play an hour of to show you tomorrow on stream. But right now, it's just a fun Snowbike Mike interview. So we're going to sign off here, and this will close out your episode of the Kinda Funny Gamescast. But remember, like, subscribe, share, ring the bell, leave a notification, pick up a membership on youtube.com/kindafunnygames, patreon.com/kindafunny, Apple, Spotify to get all of our episodes ad-free. And of course, tune back in tomorrow when we have a whole new programming day for you, kicking off with Kinda Funny Games Daily. For now, we turn it over to the master of hype, Snowbike Mike.
What's up, everybody? It's Mike here in LA for a very fun sponsored segment. I'm here with the team from Griftline to highlight their upcoming title, Arknights Enfield. And I'm actually with some of the team behind the game to, of course, spotlight the game and talk about the upcoming beta test number 2, where players can jump back in and have some fun ahead of the release. Of course, I am joined by Light Zong, the producer, and lead designer Ryan. Guys, how are you both feeling today? And congratulations on the beta announcement.
Yeah, really good, really exciting.
Yeah, nervous but exciting.
Exciting times is right. An awesome live stream showcasing beta test number 2. And of course, we're here today to dive a little bit deeper into the game and talk about it. But of course, I want to talk about you two first and the team at Griftline. So, of course, Light, tell me about your role. How long have you been with the team and some of your favorite stuff about the studio and team?
I'm the co-founder of the Hypergriff, so I have a long time being with this company, and many things I did in the game is to do the whole control about the game, to do the graphic design, and also the players know I'm a UI designer in the game, so I always enjoy to making a wonderful UI design, icon design for the players. That is really amazing about it.
You got a lot going on. You are the guy to talk to then. That's very exciting. And of course, we have Ryan here, lead designer. Ryan, tell me a little bit about yourself, your role with the team, and how long you've been with Griftline.
Yeah, I'm the lead designer of the Arknights Enfield and also the Arknights, the original title. And I'm also one of the co-founders of Hypergriff, and so I'm in Hypergriff since 2019. My part in this game is mainly on the system design and the engineering of the game.
A lot for both of you is right. So I got the right people here. So let's talk about the upcoming title. Of course, Arknights Enfield right around the corner. We have beta test 2. For some of the audience out there that might not be aware of the game, what is Arknights Enfield?
Enfield is an extension work of Arknights and our next flagship title. It is a large 3D real-time tactical RPG, making role-playing a core gameplay element of the title. Players can play Enfield like an RPG, be the character they like as they battle and explore the world.
Very exciting stuff there. The next flagship title, it's exciting, big stuff right there. Let's talk about the game because, of course, it is kind of team-focused. I see you have 4 players, the whole party on the screen at all times. So what does that lead to combat-wise and kind of bringing something different to the genre as well?
Having 4 characters on screen at once is interesting. The gameplay will be a lot more creative as it opens up a lot of tactical options. Players will need to select characters to build a team. Fighting as a team will make it easier for players to showcase multiple characters at once, and this might be something that players are really interested in.
Can you guys talk about some of the synergies, maybe some of your favorite synergies, different party members teaming up together that you really enjoyed?
The first interesting team build would be the starting team given to players as they start the game from the beginning and progress through the stages. This team includes the Administrator, Chen, and Perlica. The Administrator skill set is designed to trigger the combo skills of other characters, making the admin a core character of many team builds. In fact, while playing the game ourselves, the admin remains a core character of our team, even till late game.
Can you talk about the behind the scenes of also going from the first Arknights? Do I need to know the story from the first game? Is this a spin-off? And as well, 2D to 3D, what kind of excitement is that?
Enfield is actually an extension work of Arknights. So there are designs that is actually inherited from the original title. We are also trying to cater to new players who will be joining the Arknights universe in Enfield. So it is actually designed for both the old and the new players alike.
You guys are going with mobile and console as well. What kind of excitement is there around the console market and space?
While we're making Enfield, we try to continue this challenge. by adopting less of a mainstream artistic approach and more next gen, so that it would look something like a major AAA title that I've always dreamed about. So when I play these AAA titles, I would set the controller down and I would say, maybe I can do the same thing in Enfield. And I open up Enfield, I look at what we did, and of course there are some improvements to be made, but I think we're definitely getting there. We are trying to get to AAA quality, and I think it's actually within our reach. Justin mentioned that our artistic approach inclines towards realism. To achieve realism, we would need additional details. But our game is an anime game, it's a cartoon game. That means we need to achieve a higher graphical fidelity to able to render these features of the game. To do so at the mobile devices and also at the top gaming PC rigs, this challenge actually becomes a lot harder.
Yeah, it's really hard to make, but it's really exciting to finish it.
Of course, you are constantly working. You are nearing the finish line. We have beta test 2 coming out right around the corner. Can you talk about some of the inspirations behind the game? You talked about what motivated you seeing other games. Can you talk about some of your guys' favorite inspirations that you brought into the title?
Our earliest design inspiration is from our experience playing many factory and automation games. So people who play Enfield would directly notice that key titles of this genre, such as Factorial, Satisfactory, and the Dyson Sphere project, and Mind Industry. This made us realize that there are plenty of options in creating this factory building game, and Enfield actually allowed these possibilities to come true. We tried to balance out the advantages and disadvantages of the other factory building titles, and we did a few sacrifices here and there, but we also added a few gimmicks so that we can actually have more players who can enjoy factory building and according to their tempo. Another approach I must mention is from the visual approach. So we have plenty of inspiration for the visuals of Enfield. Things like Dune by David Lynch, and of course by Villeneuve. These offer plenty of inspirations for the graphics and scenes in Enfield. Of course, I also enjoy a lot of works by Mr. Hideo Kojima.
You guys have a lot going on, and I think when fans see it, they get very excited from the flashy combat, the awesome world and character designs. But you did bring up the kind of resource management / factory builder that I really love and I get excited for. I'm recently playing Jurassic World Evolution 3, Roller Coaster Tycoon always, right? And Kerbal Space Program, trying to send my rocket up to space. And I saw that fascinating that you already have so much going on in the game from exploration and combat. And then to add on this factory side of things is really exciting. Can we talk a little bit more about that and what players will be doing on that side of the game?
So there are functions that the factory can provide as players play, and they can set up automated production lines. While making transformations to the world, they can also mine resources, which can then be used to assemble equipment. They can make changes to the world so that they can travel around more easily. Players can also make a few combat towers by using the factory system, and that's how the factory system segues itself together and meshes itself with the RPG system.
You guys have done a really good job of, there's people excited like me to dive deeper into that and really go to a very deep level. And then there's also players that maybe just want to enjoy more of the combat and the RPG side of things. You guys created these blueprints inside of the factory system to help players hopefully like that. Can you talk a little bit more about that and kind of the ease of access with the blueprint system?
Blueprint system is actually something that we think is kind of necessary for factory building games because it can really help players to get the most fun out of this type of gameplay. Blueprints will also help RPG players to ease off the stress of setting up their factory and make it easier for them to get in touch with this genre because not everyone plays factory games. And there is also a social element to the blueprint system. Skilled factory players can create blueprints that they can share with other players. Blueprint system to myself, while I'm playing Enfield itself, it's an awesome tool to help me save what I did for my factory so far. And it makes it easier and faster for me to try out new things, new designs. And it's easier to repair my big mistakes in case, I can just reload a blueprint that I saved earlier.
Can we talk about the gacha system with characters and how you guys are approaching that and maybe looking at the fans' feedback and how you'll work with that?
First, gacha is a business model of a game. But games are more than just a business model. There are other gaming qualities to be focused upon. Only a high-quality title can win everyone's approval. When making games, whether it is gacha or not, I believe we should use our unique form of delivery to create a distinctive title that leaves a strong impression upon our players. This is why we came up with a game like Arknights. We have this belief that the business model of the game should not be a barrier to gaming content. Player experience and access to gameplay should not be hindered by it. So while making Arknights, we follow the strict rule that non-paying players can also have a complete gaming experience and various gameplay modes. In fact, such players should be able to engage in various gameplay constantly and even access content that is normally reserved for paying players. Our team has places the fun of playing the game as one of our top priorities. We don't want a player to feel excluded if they're playing with a paying character or non-paying character. They should be able to get the fun by playing the game in the style they choose. Paying for the game shouldn't be the only way that they can get fun out of Arknights or Enfield.
Ryan, can you tell everybody out there, when does the beta begin? When can they jump in?
Yeah, it will begin the November the 28th.
Guys, to wrap this up, you both are very busy, and I appreciate you giving me your time and having some fun getting to know you guys in the games. Is there anything you'd like to end the show with out to the gamers out there about yourselves, the game, the team behind everything Arknights Enfield?
I have a lot of things I want to say, but first of all, thank you for playing our games. Your support is really important for us. Please let me know what are you thinking about Enfield. We are waiting for your feedback.
Thank you for supporting us. And we're very confident about continue to develop the Arknights and Arknights Enfield, develop the world into the very future. And thank you for joining us, joining the world of Arknights and Arknights Enfield. Thank you.
Congratulations, guys. We'll see you for the beta test and hopefully for launch very soon.